Yeah. Hey guys, it's Clint with Provoke Ministries. I have been on a trip to Wichita, Kansas, of all places. That's where I was born, and I had a family get together. And then when I was headed down this way, last minute, I decided I needed to get in touch with Amanda and Kristyn because they are two people that I met about 3 years ago at Sunshine Festival in Minnesota. And they were on stage, and I knew they were from Kansas, and so I had to like root them on to. You guys won the contest that year too with the band, The Lost Colors. That's who they were with at the time, and I saw them and I'm like, those two are artists. They're musicians. They're talented. They're going to be going places. So I've kind of followed them along, and I was like, I can't not be in Wichita and have a quick interview. I don't have any equipment or recording on my laptop, so yeah, it's good to have you guys.
Thanks.
It's good to talk to you. So it's been a while since The Lost Colors. Tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing now.
Since The Lost Colors, I joined a band called The Travel Guide, and I've been doing that for about a year, and I really like it because it's fun and you get to experiment with stuff. And lately I've been doing some freelance design, like graphic design too. So that's what I've been doing.
Cool. What's your?
Shortly after The Lost Colors, I was signed to a label out in Nashville, and right now we are working on writing a debut single under the artist name of Vibrant. And on top of that, just a lot of like collaborating with artists on like covers, and I've been doing some film work and a little tiny bit of modeling and photos and things of that nature.
Where? The Donor.
Yes, The Donor.
Very intense, kind of have a dark thing, but was that your first time doing any kind of acting of that scale, or had you done other?
No, not really. It actually I started doing film work when I was young, and I lived in Japan for a little bit, and I got a job out there in a documentary when I was younger. So it kind of started there, and then I came here. I did a little bit of theater in high school, and then in college I was pursuing musical theater before I joined The Lost Colors, which can be kind of an acting gig in and of itself. Yeah. And then I did a commercial here, and then I have 2 short films coming out actually within the next few days. So.
Word. And so the Travel Guide's going on tour. There's like a mini tour happening.
Yes.
And you guys have another recording that I haven't heard because I've heard kind of one of the older ones, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. A couple of months ago, we went on our first tour, and it was about 2.5 weeks long, and we covered a lot of ground. We started in Kansas, and then we made our way to like Indiana and Nashville were our 2 furthest points, but we were playing every night, and I've never done that before, so it was definitely like a really good experience. And for that tour is when we kind of came out with that new recording, like came out with a 10-song EP, and it was just like live recordings that we already had because we just wanted something current to sell. So we just kind of put it together, but we were really proud of the way it sounds and the art on it and stuff. So.
Well, now the whole point, the whole goal of Provoke and what I do is get in touch with art, get in touch with people that are creative, and say, how do you do what you do? How do you attack your art form? What are your methods? What are your habits? So the first thing I want to know is, as far as music or actresses or film or whatever, what are some of the things that kind of have inspired you over the last month or 2? I mean, we all have our like lifetime go-to people, but like currently, what's stirring inside of you?
As a vocalist, something that kind of helps me, actually Kristyn gifted me a book called The Prophet, and it's, for me, I'm not much of a reader, so like for me it's kind of a slow read, but that, it's very, very deep, and not one of those books you can just read and know exactly what's going on. It's kind of one of those, wait, what did that sentence just say? And kind of you have to delve into it and analyze what that means. And I think that something like that, you can kind of turn it into, oh, this is how that applies in my life. And, you know, I write lyrics, so that kind of helps me there. Also studying other vocalists, like different types of vocalists. From all over with whether they have accents or a certain way that they say things, and I literally like to watch how they sing.
What about you? Creative process, creative inspiration recently?
As far as musical inspiration, I really like the band Yo La Tango.
Okay.
They're really good.
Never heard of them.
They're like a 3-piece, and they have a drummer that's a girl, and I normally don't like bands that are all girls, but
right.
I really appreciate it when I know of a band that's really good, that has a really talented girl musician. And it's kind of sad that it has to be that way, that it's like so rare that a girl is like in a band and you can, you know, say that girl's a good musician.
Right.
Another one is Company of Thieves, and their vocalist is just insane.
Right.
She's really awesome.
Yep.
So as far as musical inspirations, those are two big ones, and I really like the band Wilco as well.
Wilco's good.
Really experimental in
Yeah,
some parts.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So, are there any, daily routines that you guys have? Like, some guitarists, they can pick up a guitar after 6 months and they just can go, and other ones, they are diligent. Where like 6 p.m. I'm gonna pick up my guitar, I'm gonna practice whatever. So, what does that look like in your various art forms?
Well, for me, I am not actually very good at practicing every day as far as guitar goes, but I do know people who are very 6 hours a day,
right.
And it's just because they want to and it's natural for them. But for me, I don't practice guitar very much, and I've been taking lessons recently, just to kind of get myself motivated again and to keep growing.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm just not one of those guitar players that can practice for 6 hours a day. I can do 15 minutes a day and then a couple hours, a week. And, I kind of envy people who can practice 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
But as far as design, recently I've been doing a lot of that, and that's something I really go to. If there's something to be done, I'll go do it right away.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
Well, and this is more current for those of you watching that know me and what I do. I have had this where I've gotten to, I just start learning things and I pull things up on YouTube. I did this project for my brother. It was really simple graphic design, but I've never really worked with Photoshop at all. And I just decided, okay, I'm not using any other program. I'm going to use Photoshop. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to learn the skills I need to pull this off and to make it look the way I want to. And sometimes it just comes down to that. It's comes down to saying, okay, I have to achieve this goal,
Yes.
and that's it. I'm not going for anything else, but this is the goal. What about you, Amanda?
Well, it's a lot easier for me to practice my instrument, seeing how as it comes attached.
Right.
So I'm pretty much singing all the time. I think how it applies in my day-to-day life is honestly, with my writing and even with my acting, it applies with just my experience. It just, when I'm feeling something, whether that's a good feeling or a bad feeling, just really taking that apart and analyzing that and, using metaphors and things of that nature. Most of the time, it's not something that's planned. It just kind of happens. So.
Do you guys find that you're, let me phrase it this way. Does your art form steer your emotions, or do your emotions steer your art form? If you're in a bad mood, something goes down, something in your family or job or whatever.
My emotions can definitely set into motion what I'm going to do. However, I personally like to keep my writing at least ending on a positive note. I like there to be, there's nothing wrong with, having a song to just, express your anger, and I completely, believe in that, or, any other negative. type of emotion or feeling that you may have. But like I said, personally, I like there to be a light at the end of the tunnel type of thing. So it's kind of half and half. Like, yeah, I'll let that strong, perhaps negative emotion spark that creativity, and then I'll take it and kind of steer it in a different direction. And that helps me, and it helps my what I'm trying to do.
For me, yeah, definitely if, something negative happens to me, like I'll pick up my guitar and just start playing. And, I've never been a songwriter, but I always can come up with like pieces of songs. And, maybe someday I can write songs, but
We'll get there.
yeah, as far as design, it's not a very good like relief for sadness or stress.
Right.
It normally makes me more stressed. But I'll also draw something or
Something goes bad in your life, and you're working on this project for this happy like design that you're supposed to be doing, and then all of a sudden
Headless teddy
there's
bear.
like, yeah, that's not good.
Kristyn, you have a bad day.
I don't know how people are gonna feel about that one.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So, with all that said, talking about emotion, talking about how that feeds and how you feed into that, where does faith play out in how you approach your art? Or like I guess, is there a place for art in faith? Is there a place for faith in art? Like where, as artists and as creatives, do you find yourself when you approach what you do?
Well, I mean, it depends on how deep you want to delve into that. But again, with the whole light at the end of the tunnel thing, that's something that I feel like can provide faith to people, because I try not to like force the things that I'm writing about. Like anything that I've written has been something that I've actually experienced. So that's stuff that real people go through.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like it's a lot easier to write when you're at your heightened emotional level, at least in a negative way. Something happens in your life, and you start writing, and you write about how you got through that, and what process you took to get through that. Hopefully, through your words. But that, and what helps me is, I guess, kind of a form of fellowship with other people, and that could be like collaborating as well.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And for one thing, that just so everybody's aware out there, I have listened. You guys had a couple of the Lost Colored songs that I don't think made it onto an album necessarily at all. There's one that talks about dancing, like showing the crowd that, or like showing people, like, I'm gonna dance, like I'm gonna get through this. And it's one of those songs. It's been a while, but I stuck that song in there. So you guys have impacted people through your art form and through your talents and through your gifts, and you are helping people see light at the end of the tunnel. I know that for sure. So there's one thing that being around Provoke long enough, you're gonna run into have the 29 ways to stay creative. So we talked before we started recording. We talked about this, but I want to pull up just so you guys can see it on the screen. Where'd it go? Because I want to know kind of what you think. What of the 29 ways sticks out to you guys? So there's, I don't know, make lists, drink coffee.
You do a
Thank
lot
you.
of that.
The one that I'm doing right now, and I love it, and I don't know where you guys are at on this, is listen to new music.
Oh yeah.
And one thing that I will do is I will say, okay, for the next 24 hours or the next week or however long, I'm going to listen to music from 2006 to 2008, and that's all. Like, I won't listen to anything older or anything newer, or I will say, it has to be before 1960, and I just make myself be exposed to new things. What's some of the ones that stick out to you guys, or that we were talking about earlier that you just said, oh, that's one. I grabbed that too.
Surround yourself with creative people. This sounds really creepy, but whenever I meet somebody from here that, has some artistic ability, I try to be friends with them.
Right, right.
Like, please be my friend so we can work together.
Yeah.
That's basically what I do. So.
Well, when you're people have this idea of artists being isolated, and that's the best way to have your art is you get alone and you pour everything you've got into it. But honestly, there's this collaboration that when that happens and you're able to say, oh, I'm doing this project and I need your help on this.
Right.
It creates this beautiful thing.
And then people do that with you, and you get to do other things.
And we're all struggling artists. Like we're not.
Yeah.
None of us are like millionaires.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it helps.
We're not.
Yeah, I know. But it helps to have that fellowship and that community to draw from, and then and be there for. You know, there's talents that we all have. So which one stuck out to you, Kristyn?
Well, to add on to the collaborating with other people, like especially with this new band I'm in, we're doing that definitely. We have a local artist that is helping us out with like visual art, and then people who are talented at taking photos,
Yep.
and we kind of just try to get everyone that wants to help, that has like a creative talent, like we want them to help us.
Right.
And I think that's really good for like us and them too, like just more exposure for everyone. So.
Yep.
But I definitely drink a lot of coffee.
Coffee is good. Coffee is
Yes.
phenomenal.
I do make lots of lists. It's pretty much how I get everything
things
done.
Yeah. I can't get work done unless I make a list.
Yeah.
Because I would procrastinate.
Yeah, I do a lot of things on that list.
I'm one of those people that should make lists.
What about take risks? Because that's one that always.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes on different forms, but
yeah.
What's the thing that I've heard from various people that I run into is, what's the worst they can say? No. You know, we're talking about that community, and like Amanda, you're sitting there and you're meeting somebody. What's the worst that somebody could say is no. When you're asking them to help out on a project, or you're wanting to get to know them, so you can kind of feed off of their creativity.
I mean, I might cry, but that's it.
Right.
That's it.
You'll get over it.
I'd get over
You'll
it.
cry, and then you'll use that
To write a song.
To write a song or an adjective.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
Haha,
great.
you collaborated with me and you didn't mean to.
From this point, putting this video out, what would be something you want the audience out there to take away that either projects that are coming up for you guys, advice for creatives that are trying to get their own projects off the ground, or stay, because sometimes it can get mundane and you're trying to find that inspiration, or there's writer's block, or you don't want to pick up your guitar because you feel like you're not learning anything new. So what would be kind of some closing things that we can pass off to the crowd out there?
As far as what to look for me, like I said before, I've got a couple of short films coming out, so hopefully those will be viewable to the public. You can probably find me on Facebook if you want to see all that and what I'm doing. I use my Facebook. I don't even use it for personal reasons. I use it for anything creative that I'm doing. So that can be there. But as far as what I want you to take away is, if you are in some kind of rut with your, whatever it is that you are creative with, just focus on yourself. Something else on that list is, don't be someone else's perfect. And that's not, I mean, it sounds like something from a relationship, but, a lot of people rely on companionship, and whether that's, a boyfriend, girlfriend, friends, whatever. Just focus on yourself and figure out who you are, stop trying to be the other half of this or this person or whatever. Focus on yourself, and I think just let things happen naturally. That's kind of my mantra. Just let things happen naturally.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, I would say, don't push yourself too hard, because, for me, I know that, I'm capable of doing, these things that I want to do, but sometimes I just load myself too much, and then I get discouraged because I'm not getting the things done that I want. And, just give yourself a break once in a while, and don't be too hard on yourself. Beat yourself up if you're not getting everything done that you want. Just take a break and hang out with some friends and, forget about stuff for a while.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah. As far as things to look out for me is, I'm going to be touring hopefully a lot more with my band next year, and doing freelance design, maybe getting a website together and trying to make it more official. So.
The last thing I want to know is, you guys, I mean, you were part of the Lost Cutlers. and then you've moved on. You guys are obviously so close. Are you going to be doing any more work together? Like any more covers? Because those were fun too. Like you pull. I don't know what you guys were recording on, but you just pulled it out and you just start singing and you start playing, and it was just a lot of fun. So I don't know. Is that something that you guys like look to do, or is it just, hey, we're just hanging out and you just pop it out and do it? I don't know.
Oh, we always talk about it. I don't know. We've kind of ever since the Lost Colors. Obviously, we like spending a lot of time together, but we kind of had to then, so we were just like, oh, might as well. But we talk about it, so I'm sure that you'll see some stuff from us.
Yes. We just gotta actually do it.
Yeah.
All right. So, social media, website, anything like that, how they can connect to you for future stuff that you're doing.
You can find me on Facebook, like I said. I've got all of the social media. Amanda Blackmon, BLACKMON, Facebook. The one with the red hair. That's pretty much all I got right now.
What you got?
For my band, I have a website. It's thetravelguymusic.com, and it has links to all of our social media on there. And yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Word. And then obviously for me, provokeministries.com, and on Twitter I'm at provokeministry. From Wichita, this has been a session where we were just talking creativity, talking with Kristyn and Amanda, and look them up if you haven't, and I will get at you guys later.